Alright, we're back. Hopefully it doesn't freeze again, but I'm weary of the Money in the Bank ladder matches. A, because it's 6 guys, and B, because they all have pay-per-view attires. So I feel like it's going to freeze during that, but let's pray to the 2K gods that it doesn't. As we get back on track here. Set for father and son action. That sounds kind of like porn. Set for a fight between father and son. Yeah, Tim just tripped, and the gorilla needed to get his head checked real quick. He's okay. He's ready to go, guys. And here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only good guy himself, decked out in the baby blue, Timmy Boy the Timster, making his way to the ring here at the Showcase of Immortals. Former Anarchy champion, tag team champion, international champion, the first ever Alpha World champion. But nothing is on his mind tonight except his father in that ring, looking to bring this family affair to an end once and for all. Tim LaFave out for his first victory at an Ascendance. Made his Ascendance debut at the 3rd annual show of shows, where he lost the Anarchy title actually to Randy Borton last year. Was involved in that Fatal 4-Way. Oh no, he actually won last year. I'm always forgetting these accolades for some reason. He actually was victorious last year, capturing the International Championship, winning that first to 2 falls Fatal 4-Way. So currently 1-1, looking to make it 2-1. But like I said, titles, accolades, records, win-losses, they don't matter right now to Tim, as his father, Pat, aggressively starts things off with a drop kick. Oh, snap! Power slam as Tim charges him. And as much as Tim, has puffed his chest and said, I'm going in there, I'm giving it my all, deep down inside, Tim is still hesitant. Tim is still weary. He doesn't want to do this. He feels forced. But if he has to do it, he's gonna bring his all. But so far, Pat's taking the early advantage. Rugged, aggressive onslaught currently going on. Back body drop there by Tim. He's gonna stomp down on the arm. Of course, Tim was taught by Pat. That's been one of Pat's, most vocal points in this whole thing, was that he taught Tim everything he knows. So everything Tim has done has been because of him. It's not Tim. It's not Tim's strength, his personality, his power, anything about him or the CM universe. It was Pat who's to thank for everything that Tim has accomplished in CMV. But the fact of the matter is that Tim is Tim, baby. He's got an elbow drop with a devastating maneuver to the thigh. So, we're going to get a very old-school collision here. Tim, probably one of the most old-school men in all of CMV. A lot of suplexes, a lot of ground, mat-based wrestling. Every now and then he can surprise you with a moonsault or two, as Pat with a forearm smash down to the face. It certainly has been a Family Feud-esque Ascendance 5. We saw John Reed defeat his brother Caleb during the kickoff. We just saw earlier Jay Davis defeat his little brother Pete Davis. Now it's time to see if son can defeat father. Double boots to the chest in the corner. But Pat quickly going to recuperate. Back up to a vertical base kick to the gut, though, as they meet in the middle of the ring. Tim going for a grapple counter into a Russian leg sweep, though. Up next, guys, 2 of the loudest mouths in CMV's history are going to put down their microphones and put up their dukes. Schmitty, Cole Savage, one-on-one. The Money in the Bank ladder match still to come, of course, the main event. We crown a new world champion. Again, an elbow drop to the inner thigh there. It seems Tim is working a lot on the legs of Pat here. He's an older man, perhaps going for the knees. Power bomb is the strength of Tim on display. Ooh! And now a submission attempt, but an immediate rope break. Lucky for Pat, not so much for Tim. Perhaps we'll see an MTA, a sharpshooter apply. Oh, here's that moonsault I was talking about. Off the second rope, like art through the air. Nice stomp down on the arm. Tim doing a very good job of dissecting Pat, going for the legs, the arms, the head, the chest, targeting every single limb. Not just focusing on one area. Wants to hurt Pat here. Wants to put him down. Make sure that when he does hit a Coney Island Cyclone or does lock in a MTA, it'll be enough to get the job done. Elbow drop to the lower spine. And even though I hate Pat LaFave to the bitter core, you know, I loved him. We're good friends. I got to respect that Pat's getting in the ring at his age and taking Tim. No man of Tim's stature limit, but not for long. Tim lining up this shot. Up on the shoulders. A Coney Island Cyclone. Ascendance V worthy. Laying out Pat. Worthy enough for a replay, apparently. Our first replay, I think, of the entire event. Coney Island Cyclone lays out Pat LaFave. Tim making sure there's no rope breaks, making sure his father doesn't get lucky. 1, 2, 3, and Tim LaFave does it. With a firm Coney Island Cyclone at the show of shows. Tim LaFave puts down his father and proves to himself that he is the man. Apparently that Coney Island Cyclone was so good that it got a replay, and it did Pat in. And look at Tim, the smile on his face. This has got to feel so good for LaFave as Pat rolls out in shame. Tim, and nobody else but Tim, did this here tonight. The good guy, Timmy Boy, makes it 2-1 on Ascendance. And hopefully that will finally bring things to an end. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It did that for Nero, too, during the kickoff. Spaced out the fucking apostrophes for some reason. Really weird. But here we go, guys. It is time. The two loudest mouths in CMV's history going to put down the mics and put up their fists. The Fusion General Manager, the greatest professional wrestler on the planet today, the Game Changer Schmitty, set to square off against the one and only Ice Cold Savage. It has been a bitter war of words that stretches back to, well, it's got to be over a year ago when Schmitty first arrived in CMV as a member of Unmatched, confronted Cole Savage and his client Leo Cruz, ended up defeating Cruz in his debut for the European Championship. Things would reignite just when Schmitty was about to take place atop his throne and all the bodies strewn beneath him after stripping the title off of Travis King, beating him bloody, and then having him fired. It seemed there were maybe no heroes left to stand up to Schmitty and challenge his reign of terror. But Cole Savage, like a bright light in a darkening field, stepped up and laid down the challenge. Schmitty, Cole Savage, one-on-one at the grandest stage of them all. Don't freeze. It froze. Why?